Hey, how's it going? I'm Will from Long Island. You're listening to the Hood Rat Recap Podcast.
My name is Ben Zimmerman. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And actually, I'm really looking to hear them play Moth to the Casualties. They played it during soundcheck. It was really cool. I'd love it to see if they actually play it during the real set, too. It'd be great.
The girls are kind of flirting with the settings.
Jake from Wisconsin. And I want to hear magazines.
My name is Adam. I'm from Denver. And I'm hoping to hear Unpleasant Breakfast tonight.
Okay, I'm Sage. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm hoping to have a good time, and I'm really hoping to hear Hot Soft Light.
So I'm Jeremy. I'm from Boston. They played what I wanted to hear, which was Hostile Massachusetts during soundcheck. So I will go for most people are DJs. Thank you so much. All right.
My name is Paul. I'm from Sunnyside, Queens, and I'd like to hear Stevie Nicks tonight.
John Broder. I live in New York City, and I'm hoping to hear Stay Positive tonight.
Hi, my name's Luke. I'm from New Jersey, and I'm hoping to hear Citrus tonight.
Hi, Chris from Toronto. I really want to hear Hot Soft Light. And what I'm really here for is a Confetti and the unified scene. Nothing like it.
We got bored, so we started a podcast about the best bar band in the land, man. This is the Hood Rat Recap, and we are back. We are the steadiest stream of the unified scene, all the news and reviews, and all 4 nights of massive nights. Hello, everybody. This is Stage Right Mike on the mic, and I thought it'd be best if I head back to the Upper Midwest, so I am back in the Upper Midwest. So I know 4 nights of massive nights almost killed me. I'm going to ask my co-host how it treated him. So this is the unified scene's very own King of Queens, Gasper. Gasper, how did those 4 nights treat you?
Oh, man, it was amazing. I'm still coming off the afterglow, I think. But, in my ever quest of trying to come up with my own nickname, I'm trying to get people to call me the Kool-Aid Kid.
Yeah, I noticed at the show you're trying to get people to call you that. Why is that, Gasper?
Because I like to make a grand entrance. Oh, yeah.
How's that working out for you?
Not so good. Not so good. It's they're calling me Crystal Light. So I think I'll stick with King of Queens. But yeah, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
Let's go to our other host who actually has a cool nickname. Who do we have there?
You're coming off like terrible flavored water right now.
So Kevin is whatever, man. How's it going?
I'm going all right. First off, I'd like to say thank you for getting my name right after all these episodes, because anybody who listened to the Flash episode, I am not Kevin is wherever, because I know exactly where I am, but I am Kevin is whenever, named after a popular Hold Steady album. But you would think my co-host would know that. But it's good to be back, guys.
I'm trying. And, so Kevin took staying positive a little bit too seriously. Like, why don't you tell him what happened, Kev?
Well, I can be one of those people now that can attest that the Hold Steady almost killed me, because after our show Thursday night, my wife and I decided we wanted to stay even more positive and tested positive for COVID. And so we were down for all of last week, which was rough. I was very excited. I was hoping to sneak out to night 4, but I started to not feel so great. And I said, maybe I should just stay home. And 48 hours later, the Hold Steady and we were positive together. So through a whole week of positive jams and tests, I am now back to normal. So it's good to be back. I know you guys had so much fun. It looked like and talked like. I can't wait to hear about it. Last we left, you guys were getting ready to run off to sound check party for day 3. So sort of tell me about it. What was it like? I mean, you know I was sick as shit, so that's boring. We're through that. But I want to hear what you guys, how your 4 days were.
that was a cool sound check. It was the his name's escaping me. It was the lead NHL writer for ESPN.
ESPN, yeah, he was very good. He
was excellent.
A true Hold Steady fan, and like he kept it rolling really cool. And what made Soundcheck and all of night 3 really special for me was I brought my son Jackson to the show, and this was his very first Hold Steady show, and he had a blast. And you know what? I just want to take a minute to thank Dave Gottlieb for setting me up with Lucas from the Brooklyn Bowl, who made it happen. Like, thank you very much. My son's only 10, so getting him into the club is, a little sketchy, but they hooked us up, and it was great. And he had an awesome time. And, I got to fulfill another one of Craig's lyrics, where it's the kids at the shows now have kids of their own. And
then Craig pointed him out too.
Yeah, he's still talking about that, man. So like during the main set, we were up by the bowling lanes. We rented a lane, and you get such a great view up there. Like, you're almost on top of the band. And so Jackson was out there with me getting ready to throw his confetti, and like Craig did like the rock and roll point at him, and like it blew his little mind. So he's still talking about that. And also I wanted to thank Mike from Roanoke, who sent me a picture of us at the sound check. And it was just like kind of a side profile of like Jackson sitting on the floor in front of me, and it's like one of my favorite pictures now. So thanks, Mike. That was pretty cool. But yeah, man, that was a great time. What's your name?
Jackson.
And how old are you?
10.
And where are you from?
Mill Village, New York.
And you went to the Hold Steady on night 3?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's good.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Did you have a lot of fun?
Yeah.
All right. Can you say, we are all the Hold Steady?
We are all the Hold Steady.
Yeah, so Jackson was a total trooper. And how did you that was the first time me doing 4 nights in a row, and yeah, it almost killed me. I was by night 4. I was like, we went and hung out after night 4 too. That was a late night. So
yeah, it was a crazy weekend, man.
I can't wait to hear all about your night at the bar, because I can imagine how that went.
We'll get there, man. So like we've recapped nights 1 and 2 for you pretty much. Why don't we get into night 3 a little bit? You know what? Before we do, actually, there was something. Mike pointed out. So night 2, Mike was right up front under the Craig microphone, and he noticed
Craig
something.
Crotch view, as I like to call it.
So you noticed something that I kind of missed till the end of the set. Like, what happened to Craig on night 2?
On his index finger, he had it looked like I go, Craig got a new tattoo. He had like a little red lightning bolt on his index finger, as I thought. And I go, it kind of looked like, what's that movie called? Harry Pothead and the Stone Sorcerer. Did I get that right? Did I get that name right? But anyways, but then it started smearing. I go, who gets a red tattoo? And then it started smearing. I realized he had cut his finger on the guitar pick, or with the guitar strings, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And so like he cut himself pretty decent to where it was like kind of bleeding down his finger. And like that was like the opening song or maybe the second song, and just played the whole set like a trooper. So I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, just a story.
I mean, that's very cool. And I remember, though, when you guys were heading off to the show for night 3 that I didn't go to, we were talking about songs that you both were excited to hear. And I remember Gasper's pick was How a Resurrection Really Feels. Mike, I don't remember what you said for that one, what you were hoping to hear that night. And did either of you get your choices?
I got every song and then some. Like I had a friend. When we were recording on that last episode, I was looking through social media, and he was running in Las Cruces. He's a 100-mile runner. So I sent him Stove in the Toaster as we were running out the door. I go, you got to hear this. Is probably the greatest song about Las Cruces. I'm sure it's the only song about Las Cruces. And then 2 hours later, I got Stove in the Toaster, which was just crazy. Night 2 we didn't talk about. I got my ringtone. They walked out to the Good and Bad and the Ugly, which is my ringtone. I've had that since my iPhone 3, so nobody steal it. That's mine. And then we already talked about how I heard Modesto, and then and then both getting both crosses, which you don't always get, which is another big hit of mine that I like. And so I got all my songs, so I was over the moon on it. Yeah. How about you, Gasper?
So night 3, I do get my How a Resurrection Really Feels. And they do play it as the last song of the set, as they say they would on Open Door Policy. And also the show opens with Hornets, Hornets.
And she says, always remember never to trust me. She said that the first night that she met me. She said there's gonna come a time when I'm gonna have to go with whoever's gonna get me the highest.
Which is my second favorite to open a show with. I mean, obviously, Positive Jam is a great way to open a show, but Hornets, Hornets is a second favorite. I love that call and response of like, you know.
I do remember too. I think I had said like, "Oh, I would love to hear Southtown Girls," and I don't think they played it again. I think they only played it night one, from what I could see. So
Right.
lucky you guys that you got to hear, because I always loved that, sort of sing along intro for that song. And it seemed like they played it the first night. And just talking about what we talked about a little earlier with Craig and how he makes set lists in advance, it's got to be a wonderful mindset to have so much material to pull from, where you could literally play a song one night in a 4-night span and not have to think about it again, especially a song like that, which is usually a staple in their set a couple of times.
I bet you if you asked him, he would say, I'm sure it is fun for him, but it's probably also stressful. You know, because like there's a bunch of songs you have to play. And then there's songs that everybody wants to hear, but they don't always get to play. And then there's those songs that like they never play. And like, how do you fit those songs? Like it's 100 and what we say, 36, 37 songs. I'm like, you can't play them all, but it's, I would imagine it's probably a little stressful putting together the 4-night set list, I mean, but
Well, I was going to say, yeah, they can't play them all. They didn't play Navy Sheets. I mean, come on.
I'm kind of glad they didn't play Navy Sheets, though.
I mean, you did get 100 songs over 4 nights. I mean, they do 25 songs a night. That's there are duplicates, but for a band with 137 tracks, I'm sure if you actually sat there and broke it down, they probably went pretty deep. They probably gave you a good cross section of every album in some way, shape, or form.
We did get 3 of the new songs coming off the new record in 2023. And night 3, we get Grand Junction, which this might be the first time we've heard this, definitely in the States. I don't think I've ever heard it before, but that was a great song.
That sounded really good. That's the one I'm really impressed with right now.
I mean, with each one that you hear, like, it's just, I'm so psyched for this new record coming. And I mean, the other thing we should kind of mention too about night 3 is that's the only night that we get the full complement of the horn steady. It's all of them there at once. And that just makes it such an extra special night,
Those guys are so badass. I mean, I was at 2 a.m, I was Googling distressed saxophone lessons because they have those cool distressed instruments. I'm glad they don't have the brassy, glossy ones from the 80s anymore. Now they got these ones that they look like they left out in the rain, and they're just so cool looking. And
I mean, the interesting thing I was going to say about what the Hold Steady does that a lot of bands don't do is, and I guess it's a sort of testament to the relationship between the band and their fans, is that most bands won't put that much new music out or play it live even without records and pre-orders and stuff, because labels and they get so crazy about, I don't want a bad YouTube video of a new song that no one's heard out and about. And props to Craig and the boys. They're like, we don't give a shit. Here's 4 new songs. We hope you love them. If you don't love them, they're still our songs. We're playing the shit out of them. Enjoy them. And for a lot of people, that's go get beer time and go get one over. And I know the night I was there, people are glued. I love the song, we heard on night 2, which I got to look up the name again because
Sideways Skull.
Was it? That was first night. No. Night 2, we had the other one.
The basketball song.
Sixers.
Sixers. There you go.
So it's 4 songs. We get four new songs actually.
Yeah, and that's right.
About Sixers.
So, you got Sideways Skull, Sixers, the Grand Junction, and we'll get to the one that they played on the last night. But just as a band and sort of a business entity, that's not something that's done. So it really says a lot about a band.
And to your point, like you're getting Sideways Skull, and we've had Sideways Skull for a little bit now, and they started playing that song when it wasn't even called Sideways Skull. It used to be called Bloodbath. So like we're getting them with working titles, you know.
And we don't know a whole lot about the record, but if there's 12 tracks, we literally have 30.
We actually,
of it.
Craig actually let it slip how many tracks there are, and I don't know if we should divulge that, but he did. He accidentally.
Oh, did he? All right.
Yeah.
One
of the sound checks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, if he said it, it's on the record, so it's up to you if you guys. I must have not been the sound check I was at, because I would have blew it up.
It was a number more than 9, but less than 11. Yeah.
Okay, so look at that. If that number, that's 40% of an album that a band has played live. That's a lot.
True.
It's a lot.
So we've been talking about the songs we all wanted to hear, but we were talking to everybody, all you in the audience, and you guys let us know what songs you wanted to hear. Should we listen to a few more of those right now?
Yeah. So like we got to talk to a bunch of you guys, and thank you so much for doing those. And here's what you had to say.
I'm Allison Weathers. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm hoping to hear certain songs and Lord, I'm Discouraged.
Hi, I'm Corey from Oakland, California. Been to at least one show for all of Massive Nights. Tonight I'm really hoping to hear Same Kooks, which is like one of my favorites, and I think I've seen it live like 3 times. And of course, Unpleasant Breakfast, the best fucking song to come out over the last 2 years.
Hi, my name is Ian. I'm from just outside Boston, and tonight I am hoping to hear Sweet Part of the City.
Hi, I'm Panama Phil from Johnson City, Tennessee. I've been to 83 Hold Steady shows in 5 years. I want to hear Touchless while I'm still alive.
Wow. Wow, good one.
Hey, I'm Will from Long Island. Favorite part of the show. First time I've ever been here on the opening night. Wednesday, first night, 2022. Great show. I love it.
My name's Kaylee. I'm from right outside of Boston, and I'm hoping to hear The Only Thing.
Hi, my name's Jared Delaney. I am from Philly, which is full of friendly friends that love you like a brother, and I am hoping to hear Sweet Part of the City.
So your name and where you're from?
April, Chicago.
Okay, and so this is your first time seeing the Hold Steady?
First time seeing the Hold Steady. Well, I wasn't here the last 2 nights, so I've just seen the stage interviews, and I've really enjoyed the sound and the music, and I'm looking forward to tonight.
Awesome. So do you know what you're in store for as far as...
I've heard, but I don't know.
You're going to have a great time.
I'm hoping to. That's what I'm expecting.
Thank you.
My name is Joe Mitchell. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware, and this is our 4th time here. I think I drag my son here every year, so
nice.
He's on the young end of the demographic.
Fourth Massive Nights then?
I think it's our 4th time. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So which has been the best Massive Nights?
Well, obviously it's changed a lot with coronavirus and everything, but I think the first year probably was my favorite, and I don't even remember it wasn't last year or 2 years ago. They didn't do it live. 3 years, so 4 years ago. Yeah, but I've always liked it. We've made it into a trip. We come up here. We went to a couple of years ago. We saw the Menzingers. We're from Philly, so we saw them the night before. Tomorrow night we're going to go to a show, to a different show.
Oh, who are you going to see?
I don't know. I don't think we've decided yet. We're thinking like Brooklyn Steel or some other places like that.
Great venue.
Is it?
Awesome.
Never been there. So.
Well, thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you.
Great show, man.
Oh, so that's so great hearing everybody's voices there and all the ambient sound. It just brings me right back to I'm getting the feels like I'm right back in the Brooklyn Bowl. But us as fans, of course we enjoy it, but we kind of wanted to know what the people that work at the venue, the people that work at the Brooklyn Bowl themselves, what do they encounter with the Hold Steady fans as we are? And so we kind of asked a few of them. So let's give that a listen.
My name is Kareem. I'm a bartender at Brooklyn Bowl. I've been working here for 12 years. What I like best about Massive Nights is the vibes. The crowd is very awesome. They tip well, but they're also very nice. They're super low maintenance. Everybody's out to have a good time, and they aggressively have a good time. They go out of their way not to be in a bad mood, and that helps me in my job.
My name is Steven Schwartz. I'm the general manager of Brooklyn Bowl and have been for every one of these massive nights. They are 4 of our favorite days of the year. I'm hoping to hear as little as possible tonight because that means there is less input coming to me from the room and questions or needs of me so that I can focus my energy on enjoying the music of the Hold Steady, which I love. But the thing I love the absolute most about this band is the relationship that they have with their fan base. It's very special to watch. I don't know that there's another band that we ever have through here that has this much energy given from the audience to the band and back, and that's really special for us.
I have a follow-up question. So, do other bands like cleaning up the confetti? Is that the bigger issue with this? Does any other bands have that issue?
This is a unique issue, and I will tell you that the first year we had the Hold Steady, and all of a sudden the confetti came out, we lost our minds, and we didn't know what was gonna happen, and it's a problem for us. But the paper stuff is not as much a problem as the metallic stuff,
as we heard,
which
is bad.
sticks to the floor and sticks to the bowling lanes, and hopefully doesn't make its way into the hummus. Like speakers are big magnets, right? And so once we were able to talk with Brendan and get the word out there, let's bring in the paper, let's lose the metallic confetti, and now we've even played our part a few massive nights ago without telling the band. We brought in some very large confetti cannons, and at the appropriate moment during killer parties on night 4, we let it loose.
I was at that show. That was amazing.
Right? Nobody knew. The band didn't know. They were a little surprised. But it was a blast. I mean, look, there's always a little more, but at first it was like, oh my God, it's a confetti wheel. And it's like I forget, there's an album, a vinyl album, if you open it up and the inside picture is like the confetti, and they're like, this is what it's like. It's like you're gonna book a reggae band and not want people to smoke weed. It's like part, like, it's so like, yes, this is part, this is we know what we signed up for, and we're happy to have it.
Awesome. Wow, that's really something to hear what everybody has to say about the Hold Steady, because being there when we interviewed the fans was one thing, but the staff and the way the band just comes in and sets up shop for 4 nights and just sort of, they say it a bunch of times, like it's their home for that time. And hearing how the staff that works in the Brooklyn Bowl really is open to it and what it's like to sort of integrate with really, as we've said many times, one of the most rabid and loyal fan bases out there. That was really cool to hear. Good job by you guys to grab that, because I wasn't at that show, but as your producer, I approve.
I mean, and look, getting the manager of Brooklyn Bowl was like, he practically walked up to us. They're as psyched about this weekend as we are. I mean, they really are. And I love that story he told about the confetti cannons and how they kind of got into the mix. And, it was pretty cool. But you know what?
It's very cool that they let them do the confetti too, because that's just extra labor to clean that up nightly. Like, some major venues won't let people bring in cannons that shoot confetti because it's a lot of work to clean it up. Or there's a very nice charge attached to it, which it's very nice that the Brooklyn Bowl is cool to the confetti, because that's a very fun part of the show. Even from the night I was there, it's just, the video is awesome every time it happens.
So before we get off night 3, I just wanted to make mention of the opening act. We got some good openers, and Laura Stevenson, we had mentioned on night 1, was fantastic as always. But one of my favorite opening acts from this weekend was Gladdy. They were a lot of fun. I don't know if we mentioned it previously, but so the lead singer of Gladdy, Augusta Koch, is the same person who last year, when Michael Imperioli opened, did Chill Out Tent. Augustus Koch and Michael Imperioli did Chill Out Tent for the guy and girl part. So this was her band playing, and just want to tell you a little bit about them. So they're a band out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And they have a new album out that just came out November 18th called Don't Know What You're In Until You're Out. And actually, I want to play a song off of it. The song's called Born Yesterday. It's one of my favorites, so let's listen to that. What'd you guys think of that, man? Like, I just think it's a fun song. And they did play it that night. And Mike, I know you were there for it. Kevin, unfortunately, you weren't. But what'd you think, Mike?
They were great. Yeah, they were.
Like they're cool people. We did. We actually got a chance to talk to Augusta and Liz, and so let's let you hear that.
Yeah, I'm Augusta from Gladdy, and this is Liz.
I'm Liz.
Sorry, I don't know.
So, are you excited to play the show? Have you familiar with the Hold Steady, or?
Yeah, I love the Hold Steady. I have played with them before, and I was here last year. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We've been checking you guys out. You guys sound great.
Thank
we can't
you.
wait to see you guys.
Thanks so much. We're so excited.
Are you Hold Steady fans?
Yes.
Awesome. So what are you looking forward to hearing tonight from the Hold Steady?
I hope they play Citrus. That's my favorite song.
Awesome.
I only know the one song about Memphis, or what is it? That's it. That's a cool song.
This is a new Hold Steady.
I'm a newbie,
Awesome.
so.
Well, you'll be converted tonight.
Thank
That's
you.
what I said. I was like, when you see them live, you're going to freak out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and have a great set.
Thank you so much.
So, all right, man. So check them out. You could find them on Twitter at Gladdy, GLAD.EEE. You can find them on Instagram, and they also have a link, Gladdy, GLADIE.link.2. And they got a couple tour dates coming up. Boston, December 15th, New York, December 16th, Philly, December 17th, and Woodstock, New York, December 18th. But definitely go check them out.
Very cool.
So you want to get into night 4?
Yeah, I had a few points about night 4. So like when we were in the night 3 sound check, they were trying to tell Craig not to take any questions because they didn't want him to talk. And the reason they didn't want him to talk is that he was trying to protect his voice because it was starting to go a little bit. And, and night 4, he seemed like the loud parts he was doing good, but when you kind of break down and did the slower, lower parts, he seemed like he was kind of fighting his way through it. And he was such a trooper. I thought the early songs, he wasn't we're used to the animated Craig throwing his arms around, and I think he was a little less animated because I think he was worried about his voice. But then when we hit like song 7, 8, I think he realized he was going to make it through the night, and he started, it was the same old Craig, and I just thought that was a really gutty performance by him.
That's very cool about, the story about Craig and his voice for night 4. I was really hoping to be there, but my voice was going, so maybe he caught what I had. But do you remember what the walkout music for night 3 was? The song they took the stage to? Because we didn't say that.
That was Lido Shuffle, which I think has kind of become a tradition every year. Like, I remember them playing it in previous Massive Nights. But while we're on the topic of walkout music, we need to do a correction from episode 1 of the Flashcast, rather, Nights 1, rather. We need to do a correction from night 1. So I think we said that they walked out to the most wonderful time of the year, and we said that was by Bing Crosby. But I believe we've been corrected.
We were all just not thinking because we were still reeling from the night before. But as D.E. Pappenfuse so helpfully let us know, it's actually Andy Williams that sang The Most Wonderful Time of the Year. So D.E., if we had a prize closet, we would give you one, but we don't. So shout out to you for correcting us.
Yeah.
Well, in our defense, do Bing Crosby and Andy Williams have other songs besides Christmas songs? I only think of Christmas songs. I can't think of like normal summer songs that they
I'm not very familiar with them, but
I couldn't. I mean, Bing Crosby sang "Singing in the Rain," right? Shit, we maybe shouldn't say this because if that's not right, then
we'll be wrong on that.
We're going to be wrong twice.
I think we should.
All right, let's just go move on.
Let's get back to night 4.
Let's just get back to Massive
I
Night.
think it was Fred Astaire, actually.
No.
So night 4 kicks off with the Smiths cover band. Which what do you think of that, Mike?
I think people were getting mad at me when I was walking around saying I think this is a really good Sting cover band. People didn't get my sense of humor, but he looked like Sting. But I thought they did good. I think we go down different. You don't like cover bands for opening acts there, Gasper?
I'm not a big fan of it. I do have to admit they did the Talking Heads tribute band last year, and I kind of was like, what the heck's this about? And I did have fun at that show. The Smiths cover band, they were good. I mean, they played everything that you would want to hear from the Smiths, but it just wasn't my thing, you know?
Yeah, like the reason I was calling him Sting, it's hard to do. Morrissey's one of my favorite singers. His voice was good, but he didn't get all the way to the Morrissey level, and the guitar was good, but it's hard to get to the Johnny Marr level. I like cover bands. I like the idea because cover bands, you know, everybody in the band is enthusiastic about the music. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in that band. And then they're also kind of forced to play the hits because they're a cover band and they can't get away with playing the deep tracks. So they have to play the hits. So I always enjoy cover bands, and they were good, not great.
Right.
Yeah.
But so then the night picks up with the band walks out to No Sleep Till Brooklyn, which how do you not get behind that? That was a lot of fun. And they opened up the show with Stuck Between Stations, which is probably my third favorite way of opening the show. What do you think of the set list of night 4, Mike?
I mean, I think night 4 is they kind of play the big hits, like, you know, like I said, he's starting out with Stuck Between Stations, right into Stevie Nicks, Multitude of Casualties, Chips Ahoy. So I mean, it just hit heavy on night 4. You know, they kind of play all the hits. I think they're trying to play all the big songs that they may not have got to earlier in the week, so people can not say, "Oh, they skipped my song." Yeah.
Well, that's the explosive night, man. It's and you know, oddly enough, so one of my favorite songs they play that night is "Cattle and the Creeping Things," which you're always going to get that in a 4-night weekend. But I was so happy to get that that night. It's one of my favorite songs by them, and so I was glad they played. That was a big highlight for me. And we also got the 4th new song, which is "Carlos Is Crying,"
which sounded very cool. I think that had some lower parts, and I think that was Craig's voice kind of got a little swallowed up by the instruments there a few times, I think. So that'll be really interesting. I can't wait till they release that so I can hear the studio version of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then a great encore. When you start off an encore with certain songs, I mean, I think everybody in the place is waiting for that. I mean, this is a song that people have tattoos for, you know? So that was awesome. And Chicago Seems Tired Last Night with Horns is always a favorite. And then we end with Stay Positive, which we get to perfect the onstage mosh pit, I guess we can call it, between Mosh Pit Josh and Knowledge.
Yeah, so you're right. We had Mosh Pit Josh kind of went and did a little flying shoulder mosh into Knowledge, and stay tuned for more news on Knowledge because we actually are going to have him on the next episode, and he brought a great energy to the all 4 nights. So,
I mean, we talked about it on the Flashcast because I brought it up, and I remember that they did it the first time, and Josh almost got knocked over and fell down. So the second time they did it, I think Josh was a little more sure-footed this time, and it wasn't so okay.
Yeah,
they definitely planned it out a little bit better.
Yeah,
For
knowledge
sure.
actually goes down and he goes by a play-by-play breakdown of that. So we'll get to hear that next episode.
We do get into that on the interview, but definitely check out our next episode because I think it's a really great interview. Knowledge is an interesting guy, and he's really become part of what Massive Nights is. I mean, he's done most of the sound on Massive Nights. You could see he's a fan. He's jumping up and down and singing along with the songs, and like at one point he had a t-shirt tux on. Like it was. He's into it, and I think you're going to enjoy the interview.
I mean, he is as fun to watch on stage doing his job as the band is doing theirs nightly. So that's cool. I also noticed on night 4, you got Constructive Summer into Hot Soft Light, which I know we did an interview and a fan had asked for, and they did it the night I was there. So it's cool that you got to see it again on the night I wasn't there.
More than one asked for that, actually. I think I think we have 2 clips where more than one fans asked for that, and I totally agree with them. Like it's not one that I remember thinking about. Like I don't go into it saying, "Oh, I hope they do it this way," but like every time they do, it gets me just jumping. Like that's a great part of a set. So I agree with our fans, and it was a good part.
I do
of the
too.
set,
It almost actually feels weird to me when they don't play together. And I've seen it where they don't always play it right into it, and where they just do Constructive Summer and then some other song, and it's always weird that it doesn't, because they do play so well together.
So to you, this is their heartbreaker into Living Loving Maid?
Yeah, I could go with that. Or there, We Will Rock You into We Are the Champions.
Yeah, that's what I was going with.
Good one.
You know, we maybe that one's a little more on the nose. We'll go with that one.
Yeah, in the Hold Steady Facebook group, I think they like to call it the 1-2 punch. So that's their 1-2 punch.
It is a good one.
All right, and then that wrapped up night 4 pretty much, right? Unless did you have anything else, Mike? I'm sorry.
Well, after night 4, there was some festivities. We walked. Gasper was kind enough to show me the Lake Street Bar. Take me down there.
I'm actually looking forward to hearing you talk about this because, like, I've been to Lake Street a number of times, but this is your first time to Lake Street. Is where they have the after party. It's the bar that's I believe it's partially owned by Bobby. And what'd you think, man?
Yeah, and Lake Street, you know, that's a name that Craig drops quite a bit because that's a street in Minneapolis, and it's in a lot of his solo songs and Hold Steady songs. It was something. It was like, you know, when we watch all these Christmas specials about downtown New York on TV here in Minnesota, they always have those little storefront windows, you know, where they whatever they want to buy for Christmas is behind that little storefront window. Well, that's what Lake Street Bar is. It's that little storefront window. That's how wide it is. I don't know how is that place. What, 20 feet wide even? I don't know.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's I'm trying to think back from my trip to Minneapolis, like what I can compare it to, and the closest thing I come to is Matt's Bar. Which it's small like that, but I think Matt's Bar might even be bigger than Lake Street.
Yeah.
And about how many people would you say are there? Like, because I've never done that night 4 where the band goes and everybody goes. And
dude, it's packed. It's like, it's almost like the entire Brooklyn Bowl shows out there. You cannot
it's like Times Square on New Year's Eve, I think.
Yeah. It's way more people in that bar than should probably be in that bar. But
and when I walked in, I go, oh, there's a back room. Let's go back there. Well, it's a full length mirror. It's not, there's no back room. It's just that little tiny, I go, that place looks just as crowded as this. Oh, it's a mirror. Yeah. So,
yeah.
But
I mean, what's so great about going there is it's like, on top of all the fans going there, like Craig walks in the bar, and like Steve walks in the bar, and like they're just there. They're just hanging out and talking to everybody, and they are just so accessible, which is one of the things that I love about them so much, is that they're so good to their fans, and they really are so accessible to the fans. And like, it's more than just Craig and Steve. Like, we ran into the guy who did the artwork for Thrashing Through the Passion, and we ran into Knowledge, and that's how we got our interview with him. And like, everybody goes there. You know?
Yeah, it was amazing. And Craig and all those guys, like you said, they're so accessible and so great. And we talked to him, and he remembered pointing to your son, and that was great.
Yeah.
Please tell me you bought Steve a drink for being on the podcast, at least.
You know what it is?
I mean, as the producer who wasn't there, that's what I would have done. So I'm just going to throw that out there if the hosts.
Actually, you know what? I think I did buy Steve a drink, come to think of it.
Okay.
I think I did.
We'll check with him, or somebody there could correct us if they saw you not buying.
And it's not easy to pull off. Let me tell you, because like you're talking about a bar that like. So Kevin, your comparison to this would be like picture the back of Yerman's, which is where like that's our regular water hole. Like that's the size of it. It's the backside of Yerman's, and like so like just picture. Like just hundreds of people in there. Now you're trying to get to the bar. Like it's like an Olympic event.
I was in the back, and I got you and some of our companions. I got a couple beers, and I had to get to the front because you guys were in the front. And I was like the Big Lebowski. I was just like slithering my way through, and I don't think I spilled a single drop, which I don't know how. But
well, very well done.
Talent. That is a very good talent. That's extra points for you.
And can we talk about how the Brooklyn Bowl does not know what Colorado Bulldogs are? They do now because I ordered enough of them. But
this was hysterical. So Mike, I mean, so like the Brooklyn Bowl is kind of like a, it's trendy for Brooklyn, and they do know how to make a lot of drinks. And Mike's like, yeah, I'll take a Colorado Bulldog, and I think he stumped everybody. So why don't you tell us what a Colorado Bulldog is?
They don't know what it is in Colorado either, so don't feel bad. A Colorado Bulldog is just basically, how a White Russian is always a short drink. So you put that short drink into a tall glass, and you just add Coke and cream to it. So it ends up tasting like a Starbucks, is what it ends like a cold Starbucks drink is what it ends up tasting like.
And they made that for you at the Brooklyn Bowl?
Yeah,
all weekend.
All weekend. They started to get used to it after a while. Yeah.
What was the going price tag on a Colorado Bulldog? I'm just curious, since they didn't make them. What did they charge you per drink?
We were just I think we were just signing some receipts. I don't think anybody ever looked at prices.
Yeah, so like you run a tab and like it just gets lost in the mix,
Right.
But yeah,
that's all right.
But they know what it is now. I mean,
if next year it's on the menu, we know who to thank.
Well, I mean, I bet you there's a good chance, like, because it's the same bartenders every year. And the guy that we interviewed for this episode, like, he's been the bartender I've seen at every Brooklyn Bowl, and they're gonna remember that drink. So you can come back next year and ask for it, and they'll be like, "Yeah, we know what that is." So
if I'm there anytime before the hold study, I'm gonna ask for it and see if the guy remembers.
Oh, we should have a follow up on this. There we go.
Yeah.
That's your assignment for next year's Massive Nights.
I will go in advance and just because the food is good there. Did you guys eat there all 4 nights?
We did.
Yes, we did.
I love.
We ate our way through the whole menu. It was really good. Yeah.
I love this stuff.
I mean, I will say to everybody at the Brooklyn Bowl, they really do a great job there. The food's good. The staff is great. The drinks are good. I had a good share of mermaid beers the one night I got to go, and that was pretty tasty.
All right, so that's going to wrap up our. I'm sorry,
I just have one more question before we wrap it. Like, hold on, because I want to go. Like, how long were you guys at Lake Street? Like, how long does this after party go? Did you see the sun? I know Mike was flying out the next day. How did this all play in terms of?
I think you asked me this. Like, I think you asked me. You texted me and asked me like, "Hey, what time did you guys get out of there?" And I think I told you 2:30, and then I looked to see what time Knowledge sent me his information because he sent it to me right after we walked out of Lake Street, and it was like 4 a.m. So we got home pretty late.
But I didn't have to be on the plane till what 7, so that was great.
Well, we left to get you to the airport at 7. I think it was like a 10 or 11 o'clock flight. Oh no, that's what it was. It was you had it as an 11 o'clock flight, but I had asked you as we were getting ready to leave. It's like, is it 10 our time or 11 our time? And you looked and you were like, oh no, it's 10 o'clock our time. So we had to shoot over to Newark, but we flew there pretty quick. Like, if you want to go to Newark, go on a Sunday, man, because I think we made it from my house in Queens to Newark Airport in 25 minutes, which was nothing.
That's probably a record.
All right, so I think we're going to wrap up our coverage of Massive Nights there, but there are a couple of things I wanted to mention that everyone should look out for. So did you see the book coming out on May 2nd? Gospel of the Hold Steady.
It's a coffee book.
I didn't know.
Coffee table book.
That's we've talked about this before. That's the coffee table book, and it's a book celebrating the band, but really it's celebrating the fans. They got a bunch of input from the fans. We made some submissions, so we're going to look and see if we made the book. But I'm excited for that. That's available for pre-order on Amazon, and that comes out May 2nd. And then of course, the new album drops in 2023 early. I think they said early.
They said early 2023, which is, and we had guessed around first quarter, but that could even be April.
All right, and then a couple of things to look for from us. We have the upcoming interview with Knowledge, which we're really excited about. We can't wait for you to hear. We're probably going to put it out about a week or so from this episode, so please stay on the lookout for that. That's going to be a fun episode. And we did meet up with Kaylee and her husband from the Whole Studies for Women at the show. They were awesome. It was fun to see them, and she seems interested in doing an episode with us, so we should be having her on an upcoming episode soon. I think she said she wanted to do something early in the year. And then Chicago in July is the next thing that I'm really excited about. And Mike, you're going to be at that show too, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to take a page out of your book. I'm going to bring my daughter because I guess the mountain goats are a big thing on TikTok. So she's team mountain goats. So, yeah. Yeah.
All right. And I'm going to keep trying to push Kev to come out to that show, but we'll see if he's going to make it.
I never say never to anything. So if my schedule allows me, because sometimes the day job gets in the way, but I would love to be there because that's going to be a hell of a show between Dillinger 4, Mountain Goats, and Hold Steady 2 nights in Chicago at, what is it, the salt shop, salt factory,
the salt shed.
Salt shed.
Yeah,
Morton,
actually,
I think.
We were trying to figure out.
It's connected to Morton's.
Yeah.
So we were trying to figure out that venue because I've never been there, but from the looks of it on the website, it was very similar to Pier 17 here in New York, which is an outdoor venue, and that appeared to what it was going to be to me. But Mike pointed out on the tickets, it actually says it's an indoor show in their newly renovated indoor area. So I don't know if that's a misprint or not because they were selling tickets to that like premium side on the porch.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how that's going to work out.
I think it actually is indoors and it's actually a shed and they call it the salt shed. I think that's where they're getting the name from.
They might have just put like a temporary structure over what was the outdoor space, might be the same actual space. They just covered it.
Yeah, well, we'll keep you posted because we're going to be there.
That'll be fun.
But, all right.
Yeah, well, that's going to do it for us here at this episode of Hood Rat Recap. Thanks, everybody, for listening. As we said last time, if you enjoy what you hear as much as we enjoy doing this, give us a like, a follow, leave us a comment. We've had a couple of comments come in. We appreciate it. We also appreciate D.E. Pappenfuse again for the correction. So even if you want to correct us, we love to be corrected. We just love hearing from you. If you like what you hear, tell a friend, give us a like. We do appreciate you guys checking us out because as you check us out, it gives us more reason to keep doing this, and we love doing it.
Yeah, and if you do want to check us out, the easiest way to do that, we're on all social media. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. You can send us an email at thehoodratrecap@gmail.com, and please check out our link tree. It's linktr.ee/thehoodratrecap. And I'm Gasper. That's Mike. That's Kevin. And us guys, and all you guys, we are all the Hood Rat Recap.
Killer party summer.
Tim. I'm from Chicagoland, Downers Grove, Illinois, and tonight I'm looking to hear a joke about Jamaica.
My name is Jamie. I'm from Highland Park, New Jersey, and my favorite is when they do Constructive Summer into Hostile Flight, but they did that last night, so I don't have my hopes up.
So my name is Michael Schumacher. I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota. If I can hear any song tonight, I'd love to hear Oaks. And I would love to hear them do it as a walk-off song before the encore.
And I really
I'm Kevin. I'm originally from Boston, and now I live in central New Jersey. And I want to hear Multitude of Casualties.
Nice. My name's Mike Brady, and I'm from Queens, New York. I'd love to hear Banging Camp, Stevie Nicks, Into a Multitude of Casualties, and Yes, Sapphire.
My name is Jerry, and I'm from New Jersey, and I hope to hear Ships Ahoy.
Hey, my name is David. I am from California, and I'm hoping to hear, I don't know, I like what they play.
My name's John Tolan. I'm from Plymouth, Massachusetts, and I'm hoping to hear T-shirt tuxedo tonight.